Good morning, students. So, in the previous video lectures, we have discussed about the drinking water quality. What are the characteristics, physical and the chemical characteristics, on which the quality of water can be judged. So, today's topic is we'll discuss about the Indian standards for drinking water. What are the IS confirms code for drinking water? The water uses it for consuming for drinking purpose only. So now Indian standards for drinking water. So this in drinking water standards are laid down as per IS 10,500 10500 2012. This is revised in the year 2012. Okay. Now certain amendments are made in this code in two tables, table 2, table 3, page number 2 and 3 in June 2015. Only two amendments are made. That too in some quantities. Okay, so it discusses what does it discuss about the bacteriological and virological requirement of drinking water. What is the amount of bacteria or viruses that can be sustained in drinking water? How much is the permissible limit? How much is the maximum or tolerable limits? These are laid down. Now, sampling. This sampling means how you take the water. How many samples you should take. Okay, so this falls under sampling. So sampling is done using IS code 1622 1981. Okay, so using this code, the sampling of water is taken and done. Now, ideally, you know what is BOD. Biology is the uh, biological oxidable demand. For drinking water, remember one thing, that BOD should always be nil, should be zero. Drinking water, anything above zero is strictly not acceptable for drinking purposes. You can use water having higher BOD for other purposes, but not for drinking purposes. If you use water, water which has a higher BOD, say let us say more than 5 or 10, then it might cause, it will enter the human body system and then it cause great damage. So pertaining to in health standards also. See, another thing, these Indian standards for drinking water have been laid down in accordance with the health standards. Means what I mean to say is, what is the what is the tolerable or permissible limits of metallic elements or toxic substances or harmful substances that can be present in the blood of human body. So that permissible tested that permissible limits are being found out, and as per that the standards have been laid. So if you take greater quantity of such amounts, if huge quantity of such toxic elements are present in your water, then it might interfere with the human health system. Okay, so this is a very important factor that is to be kept in mind. Now, this code, you remember, drinking water code is IS 10500. Okay, 2012. This is the latest revised version. Now, this is table 1. So from this code, I have taken some tables. So you can discuss what are the things that are present in the code. So this code is available. You can download this code. IS 10500 2012 for drinking water code, IS code for drinking water. You can search in Google, you can download it. Okay, it's a 16-page code and you can go through the contents, whatever is given. So I'm taking some of the tables here and I'm discussing. Or if you want to gain more knowledge, you can download this code and have a look at all the pages. So this is one table. This is table number 1. This is organoleptic and physical parameters. So this is physical parameters that are to be tested. Now see, in this characteristic, requirement, permissible limit, okay, in absence of alternate source. This is method of testing in reference to IS 3025 remarks. So first is color. So color is tested in Hazen units, okay, maximum. So acceptable limit is 5. So some system of unit system is being done for color, okay. They have a sub unit which is Hazen. So acceptable limit is 5. Permissible limit in the absence of alternate source. Some alternate source is not there. In that case, permissible limit is 15. Okay. So extended to 15 remarks only if toxic substances are not suspected in absence of alternate source. So it can be extended to 15. This limit can be extended to 15 only if the alternate source is not available. Otherwise, this is your acceptable limit 5. It should not cross, the color should not cross more than 5 units. Okay. Order is agreeable. Requirement agreeable, that is anything that can be agreed upon. Like you will not drink the water if it is not smelling good, right? If it doesn't smell good, nobody will drink that water. So we can all agree to that. So this is agreeable and this is also agreeable. So it doesn't contain any limit. It doesn't contain any thing. This depends on person to person. If you do not find any order in it, some person have very strong smelling smell sense. In that case, they might not be able to have little bit of tolerance. Also, they cannot adapt to such water systems. So this is agreeable, and then method of test is part 5 of this IS 3025. This you have to go through part 5. The test cold when heated, test at several dilutions. We have to test cold test when heated, and then at several dilutions you have to test what is the order. pH value. pH value is 6.5 to 8.5. This is important. Ideally, the pH of water should be 7. It should be neutral. It should neither be alkaline nor be acidic. But it is in reality, it is not possible to retain that 7 pH value all the time, and you'll never find water always having this pH of 7. Although in codes like in IS 2000, IS 456 2000, that code of RCC, if you see that code also, for potable water it suggests a pH of 7, but ideally it is not. That is ideal thing, but in reality it is not possible. So there's a limit. The limit is 6.5 to 8.5. It can be slightly acidic and slightly alkaline, not more than that. Okay, then permissible limit in absence of alternate source. So if alternate source is not there, there is no relaxation, and it is as per the part 11 part of the IS 3025. Okay, turbidity. Turbidity is, I told you the initial previous class, it is measured in ZU or NTU. NTU is one unit of measuring turbidity. The acceptable limit is 1, permissible limit is 5. Okay, total dissolved solid, this is 500, permissible limit is 2000. So you should always look in this part also. Okay, and not this part. This is only, this has to be only looked after on when the alternate source is not there. So this you can neglect this. Just you have to retain this as the maximum permissible limit or the acceptable limit. Okay. Now let us move to another table. This is general parameters concerning substance undesirable in excessive amount. Okay. So here we have a list of many metals, metal oxides. Okay. Fluoride, chlorides, like that, many metals or non-metallic things, substances. Okay, and then acceptable limits, their permissible limits, method of test similarly to the previous table. So first is aluminium. Now each of these is in milligram per liter. Okay, so maximum, so it is 0.03 milligram per liter. Permissible limit is 0.2 in absence of alternate source. Again, ammonia should not be more than 0.5 milligram per liter. Antonic detergents, okay, some detergents kind of substance, 0.2. Barium 0.7, boron 0.5, calcium 75 milligram per liter, chloride 250 milligram per liter, copper 0.05 milligram per liter, fluoride 1, free residual chlorine 0.2. Now here is the thing. Fluoride, excess of fluoride or scarcity of fluoride can cause fluorosis. Fluorosis is nothing but dental cavities will be formed. Because of that, the enamel of the teeth will be colored. So this happens when there is excess of fluoride. In any case, fluoride content should not exceed 1.5 milligram per liter. So for fluorosis, okay. So this is one very important mineral that has to be remembered. So what are the important things? Total solids, okay, chloride, fluoride, residual chlorine. These are some of the things that are being asked normally. Okay, chloroamines. What is chloroamines? It is ammonia, part of some ammonia, NH2Cl2, NHCl2, NHCl3, NCl3, like that. So chloroamines. So this chloroamines maximum limit is 4. Okay, calcium 75 milligram per liter should not exceed this limit. So iron is 0.3, like that. Molybdenum, okay, copper is given here. There are a number of metals which are not listed in this, not could not be adjusted in this part. It is present in the code. If you see the code, you will find a list of more than maybe 30 metals or non-metallic compounds or elements where whose permissible limits or acceptable limits are given. Okay, so when you test the water for drinking, you have to test all this, and neither of these values should be, you know, uh, should exceed after the test results come. So this has to be kept in mind. And there is the parameter concerning toxic substances. So some toxic substances may be present. This is table 3. Cadmium, cyanide, lead, mercury. See the amount here. It is very less, 0.003. It's very difficult to measure this much less amount of content. 0.003 milligram per liter is, so this again may be measured in ppm. Ppm is particle parts million, particle per million, or parts per million. Okay, cyanide, lead, mercury, these are toxic and poisonous substances. So in any which way, their presence should not be more than these limits. Molybdenum, nickel, pesticides. Sometimes water might contain pesticides or fungicides, anything. Polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay. So trihalomethanes. So these are some of the compounds or the metals, toxic substances that are usually present in water. In any case, these toxic substances should not exceed these values. So similarly, there are a number of other guidelines also for drinking water quality. Okay, so you have to test this. You have to first take the samples as per the IS 1622 1981 version. Okay, that revised version or the first version. Then you have to go through all these tables and these annexures and clauses that are present, and should test water, and all the constituents that is present in the water, maybe toxic, maybe non-toxic, should not exceed this limit. That we have to make sure. If it is tested and found safe in all these constituents, only then this water is safe. Otherwise, if you have excess of chlorine, if you have excess of fluorine, if you have excess of chlorides, okay, sulfides, ammonia, if excess of ammonia might cause blue baby disease. You know, the if you have excess of ammonia, so what happens is ammonia is a free radical kind of a compound. It is NH3. Okay, so it dissociates. It becomes into sometimes nitrites or nitrates. So excess of nitrites or excess of nitrates cause blue baby disease. It has different syndromes. So in a recent thing, I think maybe 3 4 days back, we have heard a news that a harmful toxic substance has entered into the water supply system of uh, uh, Texas state in United States of America, and a 6-year-old, toddler, or maybe a baby, he has consumed that thing, and it has affected his brain, and severely affected his brain, and it has led to his death. So some harmful toxic substance was present in the water supply system, and immediately the water supply was stopped, because 1 or 2 cases were reported. So this is the effect. This is the effect it can have. Again, you can, if there are other diseases also, okay, like waterborne diseases are there, like dengue, malaria, uh, your typhoid. Okay, these are diseases which are caused by uh, intake of uh, lesser quality of water. So you make sure whenever you drink the water, you make sure that it is RO water, it is UV filtered water. Nowadays, this RO, UV filtered, these are latest techniques for filtration. Directly, you cannot take the water from tap and just drink it. So this should conform to these highest specifications. So these are the standards which are being laid for drinking water. Thank you for listening to this video. In the next video, we'll discuss about your, the introduction to the water treatment for safe drinking. We discuss about water treatment. Water is aspects, various aspects in water treatment. This is a very huge topic. So we'll briefly discuss about this and the importance of sanitation. And that will complete our third unit. Thank you for listening to this video.